Hello, everybody, and welcome to a Monday edition of the Computer America Show. I'm Craig Crossman, your host, and Charles Tindall is here with me. And what can I say?
Hey, Craig, it's good to see you.
My camera's live.
Yay!
Hi, Craig.
D says hi.
Hi, D.
He says hi, D. High D or low D?
Pretty high right now.
Can D see me from there?
Yes, she's over here. Come here, D.
Okay.
Come around. She's coming. Wait for it. Wait for it.
Hi, D.
Push me to death.
How are you? Probably nice to meet you in the flesh. Well,
Yeah.
sort of virtual.
It's the digital flesh.
4
Yeah.
minutes.
I'm going to have her run the show tonight. All right? Have a good one, Greg. Bye.
Yeah, alrighty.
We might get a buttload of new ratings for that one. Be like, hey, wait, who's this chick?
Exactly. Okay.
Okay, so I sent you the newest one. How did you put it in the Hangout to find out that it was pixelating, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Okay, don't edit it. Just look at it. I mean, from my end, it looks fine. And actually, watch what I can do. I can do this. Anything you can do, I can do better.
Don't pixelate yourself.
I can do anything better than you.
Well, confuse everybody. Let's use your now says Craig Crossman on it.
There you go. It's the exact same. It's the exact same one. That's the file that I just sent you.
Yeah, it looks great.
Yeah, you should load it. It takes 2 seconds. Seriously, you're in the Hangout. You just go in the Hangout, turn off custom overlay, right? Turn it off, then click the button right below it.
3 minutes until
Just
showtime.
do it, Craig. Just do it. Live on the edge.
Yep, exactly.
Click off.
I am not going to do it.
Come on! It's like nothing. There's nothing that can go wrong now.
No,
Absolutely nothing can go.
I will wait until tomorrow, Charles. I'm not gonna. I have to. No. Yeah. Thanks a lot. Yeah.
Like, oh, what happens when I click this button?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay.
Which one did I have? It was this one.
Jonathan is in the chat room.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Dun, dun, dun. Are you nervous? It's like being on stage again, isn't it? Disconnect.
I just told him, see, I'm not bald.
You told him what?
See, I'm not bald.
And it's time to go poke fun at Craig really quick.
Mm-hmm.
It's a wig! See? Wig!
2 minutes.
How does Jonathan have the that E?
The spray on toupee, he's saying.
How does Jonathan have that E? That weird E?
I don't know. He does that.
Oh. I don't even remember if this is the right one. Is it the right password?
Yeah.
Oh no.
There's Jonathan. Just came in.
Yay!
Jonathan. What is that?
It's the Charles has on red hoodie.
Was that you making that?
I'm a Sith Lord. Yep.
Yeah, it was you. Okay. Yeah, Charles has a red hoodie on. No.
1 minute until showtime.
I'm Santa Charles. oh, drink.
Yeah, exactly. All right, everybody, we're getting ready to go live. So sit back and relax. Enjoy the show. Monday, Computer America.
Probably have like another minute or so.
The issue is that this is the low voltage microwave, so nothing ever.
Low voltage? Why is it a low voltage microwave?
Well, the one at the house is 11. This one's only 7.
A low voltage microwave?
We need to crank that thing up then.
Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Broadcasting live, it's America's longest-running national radio talk show on computers, Computer America, hosted by national columnist Craig Crossman. Look for Craig's weekly column in your favorite newspaper. This show is being beamed nationwide at ComputerAmerica.com. Keep it here for technology news, computer products, guest interviews, and your phone calls. You're listening to Computer America.
Hello and welcome into the Computer America Show. It's the nation's longest-running, nationally syndicated radio talk show on computers. Computer America is heard around the world and coast to coast. And I am your host, Craig Crossman.
I was wondering, are you going to push the button this time? What are you going to do? And I'm your co-host, certified ethical hacker, Charles Tyndall.
And it's Monday!
It's Monday. Yes. It's always a sad day when it's Monday.
Why are you so sad? It's Monday.
Bad things always happen on Monday.
No, they don't, Eeyore.
Oh. Oh.
So I guess the big news is finally I'm not hiding behind my firewall anymore, am I?
The webcam firewall has come down. Charles was successful.
Hey!
Charles has successfully collapsed the webcam firewall. You could say that I hacked your firewall.
You hacked my firewall,
Yeah.
and proving once again to Jonathan that I am not bald. So
I don't know.
I
don't know.
Well, anyway, welcome into a Monday edition of the Computer America Show. Got a lot of good things to talk about. Why does I keep going bloop?
It's because I keep hitting a character when I shouldn't be hitting a character.
Yeah, well, you are a character, so don't hit yourself.
Okay. Who's good at that?
So, got to see the Tom Cruise movie. What was it?
Did you finally figure out what it was? Because we went to the movies as well this weekend.
Did you see the Tom Cruise movie or what?
No, we didn't. We didn't watch the Tom Cruise movie. We watched
Godzilla?
No, Maleficent. And
my wife wants to see that, and so she's.
I don't really remember the movie.
You don't like it that much? You fell asleep?
No, I will remember the experience, not the movie.
Okay.
But it was an interesting twist to the old story. It was like,
That's how it. Okay, all right.
You know, like that's what really happened. You know.
Well, listen.
Let's get your story from the bad guy's perspective.
Listen to this. We got two guests in this hour, so I want to kind of get moving into that, and then we can kind of chew the fat in the second hour, and we have computer and technology news brought to you by Slimmer Utilities. All right. All right. So in this first hour, both of our guests are going to be talking about. Well, actually, they use something called ArtistWorks. Now you can become the player you've always wanted to be online using the patent-pending ArtWorks video exchange platform to access the musical legacy of legendary teaching artists. Choose your school. You'll get hundreds of via pre-recorded HD video lessons and an ongoing exchange of videos where you can get one-on-one feedback on your playing. So whether you're a beginner or a seasoned vet or somewhere in between, it's the most effective way to learn an instrument online. Now, joining us in this first half hour is Ian Alexander. Ian is the VP of Marketing for ArtistWorks. Ian, welcome into Computer America. How are you?
I'm great. Hey, welcome. Thank you, guys. Happy to be here.
Yeah, our pleasure to have you here. So, tell us a little about ArtistWorks and and how long you've been offering these interactive music education videos.
Yeah, well, ArtistWorks has been around since 2008, and we have 25 different music and art schools online, where basically anyone, anywhere in the world, can get personalized feedback from, as you said, some of the most accomplished musicians and artists in the world today, and they can do it for a very reasonable price, about $1 a day.
Wow. Now, did the idea for ArtistWorks.com's interactive teaching platform, how did it kind of come about? I mean, how did all this get started?
Well, the mother of invention is always necessity. So our founder, David Butler, was an early member of the AOL technology team. And
you've got me.
Remember, and you being the longest-running computer syndicated computer show, you know well that AOL was an online service that grew. very big to become a household name, and ultimately was acquired by Time Warner. And David Butler was was a VP with AOL, and when that happened shortly after, he retired. And as a guitar player his whole life, he thought, I finally want to learn how to play jazz guitar the right way. I want to do it right. And I've got some time, so let me try. And so he looked around in the Virginia area where he was and couldn't find a suitable teacher, and ultimately found a teacher who was in Philadelphia, who was a very well-known jazz guitar player, and he had the means to travel hundreds of miles back and forth, but that got old really quick. And so he, as someone who's pretty familiar with moving bits around on the internet, he started thinking about how maybe they could do it remotely, and they looked at Skype, and that's just not a satisfying experience because of the bandwidth and the skipping and all that kind of stuff. And so he came up with this way of exchanging videos back and forth. So he could exchange a practice video with his teacher, and his teacher, when his teacher had time, could look and then exchange a video back. And so they built that platform out for themselves and their friends, and then ultimately thought, well, this could be valuable for anybody. So the rest is kind of history. And that's when we talk about video exchange, that's the heart of everything we do, which basically combines the best of static video lessons like you would see on YouTube or maybe an instructional DVD, and it combines it with this ability to, whenever you have a question or you want feedback, submit a practice video to your famous teacher, and then they can take a look at it and respond with a video of their own saying, hey Craig, I saw what you did, looks good, here's some things I want you to work on, maybe here's some additional exercises you can do, now go work on them and submit me another video. And the real brilliance of the system is that those video exchanges get paired together and put back on the site so that everybody else, all the other students, can learn from them. So we've essentially mimicked an actual classroom, because just like in an actual classroom, there's some people that like to sit at the front of the class and raise their hand all the time, and then there's other people that like to sit at the back of the class and learn from the questions that the other people are asking the teacher. So we've kind of harnessed that, but we've made it even better because unlike a live classroom, you don't have to be anywhere at any given time. You don't have to drive anywhere. And the cool thing is, if you're a bass player, you could put the kids to bed, maybe go off 11, 12 at night, play your bass, practice a little bit, and then submit a video to Nathan East, one of the greatest bass players alive, and he can answer that in Tokyo while he's on tour with Toto. And we think that's a pretty cool and fun way to get better at the things you love to do, like music and art.
Yeah. So we're talking about the different music schools, or popular most music schools, or are these the instructors from different schools? Are they? I mean, who are these people? If you could.
So we have everything from rock guitar to banjo to DJ to voice. It runs the gamut, and in each school, and we call them schools, but they're really designed not for kids, but they're designed for, our typical member is between 35 and up, you name it, 65, 75, as long as you're interested in your passion, music or art. And in each one of those, so it's for the people who, maybe played when they were younger or always wanted to play, and they can take lessons now from high-level teachers no matter where they are. And so in each of those categories, we've gone out and we've made deals with, just Grammy winners, multi-platinum, sellers. So for example, I mentioned Nathan East. Nathan East was one of the team that got together with Daft Punk to release Get Lucky this last summer. Became the biggest song, around for the summer, and won a Grammy. And Nathan and Nile Rodgers and Pharrell were all kind of called in to work with Daft Punk on that. So all our Nathan East bass students, they got to watch the Grammys and go, oh, I know that guy. I submit videos to him. He teaches me bass. Our rock guitar teacher is Paul Gilbert. Paul Gilbert was in Mr. Big and Racer X, some very notable bands, and he's kind of known as the humble guitar hero. He's a widely respected guitar hero. We just launched a guitar school, a jazz guitar school with Chuck Loeb, who's a Grammy nominee, who played with Stan Getz. He's done lots of solo albums, and he actually plays with Nathan East and Foreplay, a band with Bob James. And on down the line, we have a whole classical school where we have principal players in orchestras like the Philadelphia Orchestra and the LA Philharmonic who also teach at places like Juilliard and the Curtis Institute. And they have schools with us as well. So it really runs the board. And then, bluegrass music and Americana music, acoustic music is gaining in popularity so much right now. And we have a whole bluegrass academy where we have Tony Trischka, who is a producer for Steve Martin, one of the best banjo players acknowledged alive. He taught Bella Fleck how to play. We have Daryl Anger teaching fiddle and Mike Marshall teaching mandolin. So these are all sort of Grammy-winning, just really well-respected players. And that doesn't mean that if you take these lessons, you're aspiring to that level. But it does mean that you get sort of the highest quality teaching, and you got some guys there that can watch you play and say, hey, don't do that. Don't practice that. That's not going to get you anywhere, and it saves you a ton of time, and it's a lot of fun.
Now, Ian, I'm listening. You're rattling off all of these Grammy Award winners and everything else, but like, what about the average guy that wants to get in here and teach? Like I know people may disagree with me, but by far the most absolute best musician on the planet, next to Craig Crossman when he was wearing his white belt, and the lounge singer, is my father. And I've grown up listening to him play, and I've seen his technique, and I've seen the patience that he has with students. How does the average guy get in on this on teaching? Can he volunteer?
Well, right now we don't open up the platform for the average person.
Mm-hmm.
That's not to say that we won't do in the future. Because
he's not average; he's absolutely extraordinary. Just
mm-hmm.
It's just it's an evolution. It's sort of a quantum shift in online learning, and so we're looking for ways to expand that. And we've already expanded from music to art, and we're talking to universities about using this technology. But that's one of the things that's on the list is do we expand it this way? And that's not off the table. Right now, we're kind of focused on getting artists that not only are well known and are great players, but they kind of have the soul that you talked about your father has. Very patient, good teachers. There's a lot of great players out there that just cannot teach, and so that's where working with ArtistWorks, we're able to sort of find that right fit of someone who's a great teacher and a great performer, and it works for both sides because musicians are very busy. They're, if you're good, you're touring, you're recording, you're doing all kinds of things, and that's where this platform, where the teacher can work at their own pace and at their own convenience, and the student can work at their own pace and their own convenience. It just makes a great marriage.
Huh. I mean, it sounds like a really good platform to also, promote. I mean, you're giving it all back, and they're learning all these different things, and you get to learn from literally like some of the greats out there. So I mean, it sounds amazing. I mean, it's similar to what was it, the Hangout Help or Help Hangouts or whatever it was that Google was trying to do not too long ago, where you could like dial up and get one of these experts during a specific time to get help on your problem. But this one sounds a little more personal. It sounds like you almost have your that one-on-one instruction that most people are craving.
You do, and it's very unique, and it's unique in that we had our schools, the online platform is very social, so we have chat boards and shouts and forums, so there's a lot of communication between the students. And I saw one just the other day where a student said, wow, this is the best use of the internet ever invented, which is obviously hyperbole, but you kind of come away thinking, I'm having this interaction with somebody, but it's not in real time, And oftentimes, I'm watching them having interactions with other people and watching these video exchanges.
Ian,
But it's amazingly personal.
Ian, we've actually, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but we actually have a caller in Northwest Indiana who evidently has a question for you. So let's go to caller. Caller, Computer America, Craig Crossman. How can we help you?
Well, I'm a student there online in the rock guitar school, and I love it. Almost 2 years now. July will be my second year, and my username is Hippie Dog. And I'll tell you what, I work a lot. I work constantly and goofy shifts, and it's great to get online. The video exchanges, you watch other students. It's absolutely well worth the money. You go to a lesson for a half hour, pay $30 for the price. You couldn't get the kind of lessons you have there. It's unbelievable.
Well,
wow.
Unsolicited testimonial. Look at that. That's wonderful. Gary, Indiana.
Yeah,
that's
I'm originally from Gary.
But
I live in Griffith now.
That's the home of the Music Man, the movie, Gary, Indiana, right? You know the song?
Yes, and Michael Jackson and Alex Karras, a ton of guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm telling you, cannot believe the amount of video exchanges there are. Get to watch other students. So I might not turn in a video exchange, and I'll see a student with having the same problem I am, or trying to learn a song that I like, and it's presented to you in a way that's unmatched and a lot of detail. And when the guys are on tour, you get hotel room video exchanges. I've seen them in the back of cars where the guy's rocking out in a car. It's just unbelievable.
Well, there you go. Ian, what can you say? What's your first name, caller, by the way?
Patrick.
Patrick. So Patrick loves what you have to offer, Ian. Any comment to him?
Well, I mean, I think it underscores kind of there's a certain sort of je ne sais quoi to the whole thing, which is it's a lot of fun. And he mentioned sort of these video exchanges. You can see these artists that if you're like Patrick and you grew up playing guitar and you life gets in the way, or you go on and do something else, but you still connected to that instrument. How fun is that to submit a video or see a video exchange from one of the guys that you've always listened to, and there they are out on tour and giving instruction to other people. Now, that's not always the way it works. When we record the lessons with the artists that we work with, we send them back to their house, to their studio with a HD camera and a full setup, because there's a whole half of the platform that faces them, which makes it very easy for them to look at videos and press a button and record and then upload their responses, and then we take it from there. But it is so flexible for everybody, and you get that really kind of cool experience. For example, we have a guitar school with Martin Taylor, who's a British guitar player who I think Jeff Beck said he shreds better than all of us, and he plays fingerstyle guitar where he plays bass and rhythm and melody all at once. He's very good. But he also is great friends with someone who's in the Guitar Player Hall of Fame, Tommy Emmanuel. So one of our students one day went to get their video exchange answered, and who was it? But it was Tommy Emmanuel, because he happened to be over at Martin's house. And Martin said, "Hey, let's do something cool for one of my students." And so this guy got to have Tommy Emmanuel give him the answer to his video exchange. And how cool is that? To have one of the greatest all-time fingerstyle players have another great fingerstyle player just give you feedback on your playing. It's a lot of fun.
Well, listen, Patrick.
That's very true. I took Martin Taylor's course also. Following the lessons, he's absolutely correct. The lessons follow these are well thought out, and the beauty of it is you can go over and over it again. You can advance a little bit and go, you know what, I didn't catch that part back there.
And rewind, yeah.
And you go back and see it. It's just, you can look at it. I mean, you can't spend a night and see them all. And to master the lessons, and then to get the update with the video exchange where they catch what you're doing incorrectly, or maybe help you with your tone, anything. The answers and the questions are just, they're out there. Whatever you can think of, they're there. It's really a really good platform.
Well,
thank you for your time,
yeah,
guys.
and Pat, listen, just stick around, because in the second half hour we're going to have Gregory Barker, who's the commissioning editor of Voice Council magazine. He's going to talk about from TC Helion and how they're using the ArtistWorks website too. So you just stick around, okay? Keep listening, all right?
I'm listening on the computer right now.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Excellent. Bye-bye. All right, there you go. 347-884-8881. 347-884-8881. I'll get you through. Email is live, L-I-V-E, at computeramerica.com. You can also join us in our live interactive add-on chat room from our homepage at computeramerica.com under the chat room/video button. And also you can watch our live video stream right there on the same page. And of course, that's brought to you by Otherworld Computing, quality products, expert support since 1988. Now celebrating the 25th anniversary. Visit them at MacSales, MacSales.com for all your Apple needs. So we're talking with Ian Alexander. He's the VP of Marketing for ArtistWorks, and it must be gratifying to get a caller like that, Ian, because I think it just kind of validates what you're doing. Don't you agree?
Yeah, I mean, it's great to hear, and we do hear that a lot because, like I say, it's such a new kind of thing, and oftentimes it's difficult to explain to people exactly, what is this? Now you submit a video and you get a video back, and is that Skype or how does that work? And so sometimes as a marketer, it's very difficult to get that message across. I liken it to TiVo when it first came out. What do I do? I pause TiVo. How does that? Why is that cool? But the first time you see it, you become a rabid fan, and you go, "This is the coolest thing in the world. I got to tell people about it." So it is very gratifying.
Yes, it is. We got a lot of callers coming in. I want to.
Oh wow, this is a good one.
Yeah, but I also have some other questions that I want to ask Ian. I'll tell you what. We'll take one more caller, and then let's go to where are we going to here? This is North Alberta, Canada. Caller is calling us. Computer America, Craig Crossman. Hello, caller. How can we help you?
Hello.
Hi.
It's a pleasure to be here. Yes, I'm a big fan of ArtistWorks. I love the school. I'm in the classical guitar school with Jason Vio, and I live here in a little tourist town in the mountains, but we have high-speed internet, so I'm here with my laptop, and what I do is I make videos with my iPhone 5, and I submit them to the school, and Jason looks at the video and makes his own video in response, and they're posted in a pair together for all the students to see. So it's just super. And it's so great because when you see the lesson you want to learn, you watch the video and right away you are way ahead because you see how it goes. Just like when anybody wants to teach you a song on guitar or anything, you have to learn how it goes. And you can watch it as many times as you need to get the sense of how it should be played, and then you get the sheet music, which is another big time saver because they recommend an edition. If it's something available at Amazon, then there's a certain edition that they recommend, and you go get that particular edition with those particular fingerings, and right away you're ahead of the game again because you don't have to shop around wondering which edition you should use because everybody uses the same one.
Wow.
And there's also I'm in the vocal school too, but I've been slacking off. I've been playing guitar too much, but that looks great. But in the vocal school, like once you get practiced up and you want to perform for friends or live somewhere, then the teacher will recommend a microphone and recommend a microphone that goes with your acoustic guitar if you're playing the acoustic guitar. So yes, it is highly, highly personalized in a wonderful way. And I hope to get to all the guitar schools because I'm basically a guitar player and I like them all. If I could go to the flat pick school and pick up my flat picking and then zip over to the gypsy jazz school and get some gypsy jazz licks in there and maybe get to the rock school and finally figure out how guitar solo goes, and maybe I'm amazed because I think that's one of the lessons. Oh, I've always wondered how that goes, and I can just pay my $20 a month and learn how that song goes, and it's wonderful.
Well, listen, caller, I'm glad that you're talking to the right people. They're hearing you, and I certainly appreciate your appreciation of the ArtistWorks website. And as I said, stay tuned, because in the second portion of this hour, we're going to have Gregory Barker, who's actually with the vocal group, and I'm sure you'll be interested in what he has to say about all of his what they're doing over at ArtistWorks. Okay.
Well, thank you very much.
All right, you take care. Bye bye. All right, I want to. I need to ask you some more questions here because we have a lot of callers. But let me ask.
I think Ian. Would you rather answer questions or talk to your fans?
No, let's talk to them, because let's talk a little. I want to ask a couple of questions here. What would you say are the most niche music schools on ArtistWorks.com? Maybe that people wouldn't even know what to look for. What would you say?
Well, we have classical French horn, which is pretty niche.
Yeah.
We have.
I love the French horn.
We have a DJ school. Oh yeah. We have a DJ school that focuses on turntablism and scratching, so vinyl scratching, with DJ Kubert, who is the godfather of vinyl scratching, and has a huge following. And we have, well, harmonica's not so niche. But we have harmonica lessons with Howard Levy, who is a Grammy Award-winning harmonica player, and
to me,
we have 25. So
I've listened. I don't know if you know Blues Traveler, but the guy who plays harmonica on that thing is absolutely amazing. But I never did the harmonica be played sound like that.
It's interesting, and I almost said it before I stopped talking there, but I listened to a podcast with John Popper, who's the harmonica player for Blues Traveler, and he called out Howard Levy as the greatest harmonica player that ever lived.
Wow.
Made me feel good because Popper's amazing.
Yeah.
And Howard Levy is an amazing musician because he took the diatonic harmonica, which is basically several different kinds of harmonica, but the diatonic harmonica doesn't play all the notes.
No.
You're limited to the notes you can play. But when he was 19 years old, he developed a technique for overblowing and underblowing that allowed anyone who played a diatonic harmonica to play every single note.
Oh.
So he completely revolutionized the instrument. And so that's one of his claims to fame, and probably one of the reasons that Popper thinks he's so great, because he invented all these notes on the harmonica that never existed before.
Yeah, well, yeah, that is absolutely amazing. I guess it's like grabbing a bugle and playing all the notes, because a bugle only has so many notes and that's it. So yeah. So that is so. Let me ask you this. We only have a couple minutes left. What would you say the key advantages of the ArtistWorks.com video exchange over, let's say, other online musical instruction formats?
Well, first of all, I think, as I said, it's a lot of fun. It's more than just lessons. I mean, we look at this as entertainment. This is having fun, getting better at the thing that you love. So it's a kind of an experience that you're not going to get anywhere else. This interactivity. And then it gets back to the video exchange portion of it. Static lessons are great, and anybody can go up on YouTube and get some great tidbits. But this really walks you through, and then allows you to do that one thing that you can't do on any other site, which is say, wait a second, I can't figure this out, and press a button and get an answer back.
Yeah.
Many of our artists say, what we're really good at is we tell you what not to practice.
Right.
Because you can waste so much time doing the wrong thing.
Ian?
And so you have the advantage of somebody who can tell you, hey, don't practice that, practice this, and it saves you a ton of time.
Ian, we're just out of time. I would love to go on more with you on this, but we're just coming up against the break. Unless you want to stay on with Gregory, that's completely up to you, but you got to let me know, because we're really scratching the surface, and I don't want to pull away from Gregory because I know he's going to have things to talk about as well. So I'll tell you what.
Yeah, we'll let Greg go.
Okay. All right, Ian. Listen, thank you so much for being with us here on the show tonight. Again, go to computeramerica.com, go to our show notes page. You'll see today's show, June the 9th, and you'll see all about ArtistWorks. The link is up there. Ian, thanks for being with us here tonight. It was a lot of fun.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
It was a lot of fun.
All right, bye-bye. All right, we got, we're going to continue on with Gregory Barker. We'll be right back with him after this.
Hey everyone, have you heard about the No hair removal device that's sweeping the globe? If you want to go weeks without shaving and get smooth, professional quality results, here's our favorite host, Cheryl, for No hair removal.
Thanks. Hey gals, I love talking about my No. It's this cute little hair removal system that you can take with you and use almost anywhere at home or on the road. No more expensive in-office treatments, painful waxing, and no more wasting your valuable time. Got unwanted facial hair? No has patented thermocon technology that works on all hair and skin colors, so it's perfect for using on all body parts. And now you can take advantage of this incredible risk-free trial. Get the No, the facial kit, a travel case, and a $100 discount shopping card, and you don't risk a penny to try it. Try the incredible No hair completely risk-free. Call 1-800-953-5415. That's 800-953-5415. 800-953-5415.
Looking for a best friend? Brother Wolf Animal Rescue has your best friend waiting just for you. The mission is to protect and enhance the lives of companion animals and the people who love them. Their no-kill rescue shelter is open year-round, making it easy for people to adopt their best new friend. This year, Brother Wolf will find homes for over 2,400 orphan dogs, puppies, cats, and kittens. All have ended up as an orphan through no fault of their own. Brother Wolf has created a safe, nurturing environment where these special animals can heal emotionally and physically until they find a lifelong home. Their life-saving transport program brings dogs and puppies from overcrowded shelters in the south to rescues in the north where homes are easier to find. Brother Wolf Animal Rescue is a 501c3 organization. To learn more about their life-saving work and to make a donation, visit their website at www.bwar.org. That's www.bwar.org. Help to realize Brother Wolf's vision when no animal is euthanized for lack of a home.
Who's a good boy?
Hello, this is Marty Winston for Computer America with a News Tips Bulletin review of the HP NV5530 and Instant Ink. We'll let the tail end of that wag this dog. The new HP Instant Ink service works with selected printer models, SMB, small and medium business scale, monitoring the number of pages they print, and based on that, automatically reordering ink, which is shipped to you. The lowest tier is $2.99 for 50 pages a month. To let us review it, they provided an HP NV5530 all-in-one printer, a decent performer that could be a good idea for a small business or somebody just starting out, or even occasionally for college kids who have a lot to print. The program anticipates when ink runs out, so chances are you get the refill before the printer runs empty.
Cool. The
weakness is that if your week-to-week, month-to-month usage isn't fairly consistent, or you're not sure how many pages you print, you could easily sign up for more or less ink than you need. If your usage is consistent, the program's ink pricing is better than retailer pricing. We note that this represents lost revenue to retailers. Bottom line, for many people, the new HP Instant Ink program may prove a good value, and one of its supported printers, the HP NV5530, is more than capable as an SMB workhorse. This is Marty Winston at the News Tips Bulletin for Computer America.
And thank you for that, Marty. Again, dialing into my brain. You know, it's all good stuff. I am Charles Sendell, also known as Kool-Aid, because I just realized I'm wearing this really bright red hoodie here. So for the rest of the night, I'm going to do it like this. There we go. I'm gonna wear it just like that, and then I'm gonna jump around like Rocky. Anyway, welcome back into the first hour of the Computer America Show. We're 34 minutes into it, and we just finished talking with Ian from ArtistWorks, and had a plethora of callers coming in from all sorts of walks of life, all telling us, how great the service is, how amazing these things are. I've actually gone over and checked it out, and if I could find time, maybe sometime between 8 p.m. and 11 p.m. Monday through Friday, maybe, or in some cases, depending on what coast you're on, 10 to midnight Monday through Friday. Maybe if I could find some time in there, to go and take a music or an art class, I might check them out. But yeah, something else occupies my time every single night, and I can't figure out what that is. It just kind of disappears. I think it's in the bottom of the glass here. Anyway, if you guys got a question, you got something you want to find out from our guest, give us a call, 347-884-8881. That number again, 347-884-8881. I'll get you on and get you through. Or join us over at computeramerica.com in our live interactive add-on chat room. In there you'll find me and Addison and some of our other regulars and Jonathan and everybody else out there. Right above that you find our live Computer America video stream brought to you by Otherworld Computing. You can tell because I'm in there with a loud red sweater. And guess who my newest member of the team is?
Oh, who?
I recruited this guy, a few months ago, and he decided he was going to come and sit in place. We recorded a lot of Craig Crossman audio, so we had to go ahead and get it worked out, and we finally got the bugs all worked out. So, Craig, stand in, say hi.
Hi.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Craig Crossman has finally disabled his webcam firewall. He's looking good. He's smiling and having a good old time in his live chat video. Also brought to you by the folks over here, right here, at Otherworld Computing. Check them out, macsales.com. Great stuff from great people if you're into upgrading your Mac or doing fun things with your Mac and doing all other high-speed stuff. I'm actually headed over there later to buy something that I've been eyeing for a while. But if you want to do something cool, go over to macsales.com. Tell them, Craig or I sent you, or Craig's, body double.
Then one or the other, exactly.
Yeah, the body double. If you mention the body double, you get a few more off.
Well, we're going to continue on the conversation. As you mentioned, Ian Alexander, VP of Marketing for ArtistWorks, was just on the first half. And now joining us is Gregory Barker. Gregory is the commissioning editor of Voice Council magazine, and he is with for TC Helicon. And he's going to talk about,
stuff.
Singing, and because that's what they do, vocals. Gregory, welcome into Computer America. How are you, sir?
Oh, great. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So tell us how. So you're with TC Helicon. They tell us a little bit about the company and then what the tie-in with ArtistWorks is.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So TC Helicon is a renowned vocal effects, pro audio company, and they make all these incredible devices for singers, for looping and harmony, delay, and stuff. So basically, I guess the way I like to explain it is, how guitarists have those little effects boxes on stage, and so they're doing the same thing for singers.
Yeah.
And so they've got a whole range of products, and we just finished putting together the Ultimate Guide for Singing, which brings together 136 singing stars and producers and engineers, all talking about technology, singing, technique, and health.
I actually had TC Helicon on the show a couple of months ago, and we were talking about it's amazing. You have these mics, and they have these little control boxes, and you can do all kinds of amazing things. I mean, from harmonizing with yourself. I mean, it's just the technology to do this, a few years before was just vast, and now they've got it down to this little box, that does all these amazing things. Incredible company.
No, that's exactly right. What's happening is that gigging singers are actually showing up in their venues, and they're actually controlling their sound from the front of the stage and not surrendering their control over their sound.
Yeah, and have full control over it too. I mean,
yeah,
it's just amazing. So how has the role of gear and technology in singing changed over the years? I mean, I kind of started it, but you're more into it. So why don't you talk a little bit about that?
Well, sure. I mean, it depends how far back we want to go. If we want to go to like 1887 when the microphone was invented, but but I think we probably want to pull that into the future. But I think kind of in recent decades we've had a huge shift to the digital era, which is kind of where your show comes in to play, because what that really did for singers is it started this whole era of making kind of vocal effects and units related to sound smaller and shrinking them down and in price as well, so singers could use them. And then I want to slip in the latest development. I think the biggest development when it comes to technology, computing, and singing is something called looping. And I don't know if that's been a topic on your show.
No, but I understand. Why don't you tell people what you mean by looping?
Looping is simply where you record or you lay down a musical phrase, and then you have that phrase repeating, you layer it, add phrases on top of it, start singing. And this, when this first came out and people were using it, it was thought to be a fad. But what we see happening is this is actually transforming live performance. And so singers are actually soloists or single gigging singers will start having a drum track behind their music live, very engaging, very creative for their audiences.
I think we did looping when I was in camp, around a camp, and we could row your boat, and I would start singing it, and then they would.
I saw a movie recently about looping.
Yeah, no, that was Looper. No, but is that what you're talking about, where you start row your boat, and then and then you hear it over and over, but it's all kind of coming together?
That's right. So you're building music. So a soloist can actually build a symphonic score through looping. They can do it in live performance, where they kind of go in and start singing different things. But the other application for looping, and there's this there's a free app called Voice Jam, which does this for you. But the other application is singers are now using looping for their own private rehearsal. So they're practicing their harmonies against them, kind of testing yourself against yourself with your harmonies.
That is kind of interesting. And yes, you're right. Technology is allowing singers or vocalists to do some things that were you had to do in a a 16-track recording studio, and even that, and now you can just do it just by this little device and using your computer that'll let you do this. You can do some amazing effects. Are there any misconceptions about the role of all this gear and technology in singing for beginners, or even for more experienced singers? Are there any misconceptions about them, or is it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think there's a number of them. I think the first one I'd lead off with is often people think it's what you should really shoot for is to get a pure voice that's unaffected. And I guess we have to, in the audio world, we have to say there's actually really no such thing as that. As soon as your voice is in a room, it's getting reflected back in certain ways, right?
Sure.
So, I guess you could go to an anechoic chamber, and stand on a wire mesh, and your voice kind of disappears. But so anyway, I think all our voices are affected. Right now, I've got this effect on with you called telephone effect, which you might want to use in a track to communicate that two lovers are feeling very distant from each other. You might switch that effect in, this exact effect that I have right now. So, I think the other misconception is that your microphone doesn't really matter. You asked me about the role of gear and technology, and in the 1940s, you'd get a singer, they'd come out, they'd stick a microphone in front of them, and they would just sing. And now singers are kind of realizing, no, that every mic has a sonic personality.
Sure.
And then there's a proximity effect, right?
Sure.
And in fact, in you getting me ready for this show, we had we wanted to deal with mic issues, so like it was a number one. And so we're singers are learning more about mics, and of course microphone possibilities are just exploding all the time.
Well, I mean, they're cardioid mics, the unidirectional, they're omnidirectional mics. I mean, there are all these different types of microphones out there. As a broadcaster and as a singer myself, I would always use a cardioid mic because then I wouldn't get all that background noise and feedback that you would get, because you have to be right up close to the mic. If you pull away, you don't really hear me anymore until I pull back again, that's the kind of thing. And that's all those mics have, as you say, have characteristics. And it's important to know, that when you're getting a mic for yourself, I mean, that's going to be your electronic instrument. You say, I'm a singer, I don't play any instrument. Well, no, but you have a microphone, and that microphone is very important in how you're going to sound. So these are
absolutely.
Now, so I guess, how did you and the contributors to this book, you have a book out, go about selecting and prioritizing the topics you include in the book? And tell us a little bit about the book.
Yeah, okay. So what we did was we said we actually read or skimmed just about every major book on singing, and we realized that there was actually there are some very good books on singing, but they're all single authors. So you'd get an author who knew a lot about musical theater, and then they would kind of gear everything to that. We thought, let's actually not write a book on singing, but get other people to write it. So that's basically the concept of the book. So we have Grammy Award-winning engineers talking about how to create a home recording studio, and we've got singing artists talking about how to get through a gig, and we've got otolaryngologists talking about vocal health and stuff. So we've got 136 experts talking about all this stuff.
And so how did you prioritize the topics in the book?
Well, we knew we had to have a big section on sound and sound systems, and what we thought we'd do is we kind of imagine we have a 19-year-old guy who doesn't like reading. He's gifted, and he likes rock music, and he goes to his band rehearsal, and he's given a mic, but how does he actually get to a place where he can actually run the sound system or record his own voice? And so that was really kind of the model. So what we wanted to do was kind of have a chapter all on his mic choice, and then a chapter walking him through all the elements of live sound, and then a chapter on recorded sound, and then a chapter on vocal effects, and finally a chapter on looping to put him in control of things.
Okay, all right. So I guess, so how was TC Helicon able to get contributions from so many of these music industry experts that you have?
Well, I mean, for me as an editor, I mean, this was a gift when they came to me, because TC Helicon has actually been associated with companies doing this from the 1980s, and a number of major artists like Troy Sanders from Mastodon and Kimbra and others have wanted to do their live shows using effects from their albums, and so they've gravitated toward the Voice Live Touch and Voice Live 3 and so forth, and so they've got these relationships in place. So it was just delivered into my lap by being associated with them.
Now you're in London. Am I correct? You're in.
That's
London?
right. Yeah, outside of London. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So obviously this is an international. Really, there are really no boundaries here with what you're doing. Correct?
Yeah, that's exactly right. We've got artists in Australia, and Kimbra's from Australia, and we've got artists in the U.S. and in Denmark, and all over the place.
Exactly. So about the book, I mean, obviously this sounds like it was a lot of fun putting this together. So did you have a particular section of the book that you found to be like the most fun to put together, and if so, what was it?
Absolutely. So it's such an interesting question, because it really was mind-blowing talking to we talked to people from Neil Sedaka to Troy Sanders to Divinity Rocks, these great artists who were fantastic to talk to. But I want to say one of the real hidden gems or surprises were when we went to Grammy Award-winning engineers, and we said, could you just tell us what people can do with technology? And they were like, no one has ever talked to us before. Like no one's ever asked us to share our wisdom. They're always asking about the stars. So I have to say that was like one of the most rewarding parts of the book, was talking to these award-winning engineers who just were so willing to teach and share how to use technology.
No, the melding of the technology is what's probably the most impressive. I mean, what do you think is the biggest advancement you've accomplished so far?
I think in terms of technology and TC Helicon, I think when it comes to, they've got a product called Mic Mechanic, and basically it typifies kind of what they do, where singer walks in, they plug their mic into this unit, and it plugs into the mixing board, and what it allows you to do is to kind of just give yourself a little reverb, and kind of you're in complete control of the exact signature sound that you want to make. And I think those of us in the music industry recognize that it's both about having a fantastic voice. It's also about presenting that with a certain sound that really complements your style of music. And of course, there are vocal effects fails, or vocal effects turds that one can get into when using this stuff. But really, it's really given singers control over their sound.
Yeah, of course, some of them are really stylized. I think when I heard Cher sing, "Do you believe in love?" "Life After Love," and she has that robotic.
Was it the auto-tuned version?
Yeah, she was using some sort of a. I don't know if she was using a device at that time, because that's a little.
Yeah, she was. Yep.
Yeah, I mean that really kind of. I don't know if it necessarily legitimized it, but certainly brought it, I think, into the mainstream. At least that was for me. That's when I first heard something like that. I went, "Whoa, what is that?" So, and then a lot of people would use something similar, or not necessarily copy it, but and then it kind of expanded from there.
Absolutely right. I mean, she was doing this digitally, and you think of Simon and Garfunkel running around, looking for just the right room, which they would record in, and that was the analog version.
Right.
And when it comes, I mean, that's an outstanding example that you've just given. Typically, using effects in a live performance, you're aiming at contrast. The person just getting started on effects cranks that reverb right up and loves that wet sound. But really what the audience is looking for is an engaging, vocal sound, and they will get pulled in when the singer can contrast their effects and not always get stuck on, one effect.
Yeah, that is very true. So tell us a little bit about how you work with ArtistWorks and how you use their platform to expand what it is that you're doing.
Well, ArtistWorks isn't something we directly work with, but we have a lot of people who contribute to Voice Council magazine, such as celebrity vocal coach Jeannie Diva, who's in the book, who finds this really a fantastic platform for sharing, their teaching skills, in her case, and reaching out, to singers with, video, of demonstration of technique and so forth.
Now, do you find a lot of people are doing this just for their own gratification? I mean, they just to do it because they like doing it, or do you think most people here want to do this professionally?
Oh, in terms of, are you thinking of terms of using effects and singing and, getting this masterful control of your sound?
Sure, I think so.
Yeah. Well, no, we're finding, I mean, I think, what we've got in terms of our audience is people who are going beyond the karaoke level. So our readers and the readers of our book and the people using the TC Helicon gear kind of start with the open mic, the pub once a month singer, all the way up to stadium singer. So we're kind of in that broad range. And you asked me about misconceptions, about technology. And one of them, in regards to singing in contemporary genres, since the microphone has really opened up all kinds of vocal tones in singing communication, is one of the misconceptions is that you learn singing and then you get out there and start using technology. And we're kind of here to say, no, you actually use technology as you're learning singing, because you never really separate those two.
Yeah, good point. So you have this a TC Helicon. Now you're with this. You're the commissioning editor of Voice Council magazine. I have not had the pleasure of reading the magazine. Can you tell us a little bit about what kind of content I would find in this publication?
Yeah, terrific. Yeah, so TC Helicon one day kind of said, there's actually no online publication for singers where they can get production advice, gear advice, reviews, health advice, so forth. So they reached out to me and they said, let's create this magazine, and we'll have this kind of as a one-stop place where singers can just get educated on all the various aspects of singing for singers who really want to do gigs and have singing as a part of their life. Maybe they're going to do it part-time, maybe they're going to do it full-time, but it's definitely there as a serious element of their life.
So that's how you would describe your readership of people who want to do it part-time or full-time professional?
Yep, absolutely. And they tend to be people who've got who want to get out there, they want to perform locally, they want to go to their local pub, or they want to push it the whole way and go full time. And so they've got a gift and they definitely want to share it.
Well, that unit from TC Helicon, I know they just come out with a new unit at the time when I brought them on the air, and it had it had the little screen on it, so you could see everything visually, and you could use it in live performance. I mean, it's an amazing device, and if you're a singer, and you really should check it out at their website at tc-helicon.com. Or you can also go to our show notes page at computeramerica.com. We have a link to that there as well, so you can see for yourself. So the book is called The Ultimate Guide to Singing. Is that correct?
Yeah, The Ultimate Guide to Singing, Gigs, Sound, Money, and Health. And one of the Craig, one of the things that I haven't mentioned that I think when you ask about what is the big headline story with technology and singing, and one of the headline stories is people ask, can I create music or can I write music and I don't play an instrument? And the answer now is yes. You can sit down with your voice jam or your looping device, and you can sing in your song and build harmonies. And there are many artists who are then taking these tracks that they produce on their iPod, and they mail it to their bandmates and say, when we meet, can we lay down some of these tracks? And so music is getting created with just the human voice on some of these applications.
I know. I just watched a movie about these college groups that did a cappella performances. And aside from the acting and the story and everything, the performances that I heard were just outstanding. There were no instruments whatsoever. That was the prerequisite, and they would have 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 singing as a group, and the sound that they generated. I'm trying to think of the name of the film. I'll think of it in a minute, but it was just mind blowing. I didn't know that you can get the voices to sound like that.
Yeah, and it's not just professionals. Like I think you could go away and in an hour you could lay down a kind of new theme song for Computer America. And
you mean the theme song that finally involves Charles Tyndall?
And people go, wow.
Yeah, Charles loves to make fun of him. In fact, that I used to be a professional vocalist, so before I got into this gig.
I keep trying to get him to sing, but for one reason or another, he just avoids it.
Well, listen, don't push it. You just got my camera working,
I'm telling you. This is the evolution of the Computer America show. We went from only radio to radio and live video.
And in the book, you tell people, what's the perfect vocal warm up.
Yep.
When an audience get tired of me setting up loops and that type of thing, is there any secret to nailing a high note? I mean, these are things that you really want to know when you're a singer, and it's all covered in the book. Again, the title of the book is The Ultimate Guide to Singing. Correct?
That's correct. Yes, and you're right about we basically actually surveyed 1,000 singers, and we said, tell us the questions that you want the experts to answer. And so these questions like what's a perfect vocal warm up, or how can I really nail those high notes, they all come from this survey, and we just basically brought those questions to Grammy Award winning artists and producers, and the answers are there.
Yeah. Like, how can I get the audience on their feet?
Yeah.
Just yell fire.
No, there you go.
Exactly.
Just walk out on stage and calmly go, ladies and gentlemen, please proceed to your nearest exit.
Well, listen, Gregory, this is a lot of fun. I appreciate you getting up early. I think it's early in the morning for you right there in London right now. But
That's right.
certainly appreciate you being here on the show. And again, you can check it out at tc-helicon.com. Look for the book, like The Ultimate Guide to Singing. You can check it out there, and of course at ArtistWorks as well, artistworks.com. And we have the links at our show notes at computeramerica.com. Gregory, thanks so much for being with us here today.
Great being with you. Thanks for having me.
All right, you take care. Have a good evening. Have a good morning. Okay.
Okay. Thanks a lot.
All right. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right. There you go. Again, it's the ultimate guide to singing.
Did you read that book?
No, I have not read the book. No.
Then how do I know that you're an ultimate singer, Craig?
Well, you'll just have to take my word for it. Well, hey, we've got computer and technology news coming up in the next hour here. Charles is selected some interesting stories, like hidden code in iOS 8 hints that the split-screen multitasking is coming to your iPad. That's an interesting story. Secrets, new dens will keep your confessions within company walls. A lot of interesting stories coming up here.
What's Carissa's email?
Carissa@computeramerica.com.
Corrisa.
Yeah. Hey, listen, we're going to be right back. This is hour 2 of the Computer America coming up. We've got another new news text bulletin with Marty Winston. Stay with us.
Broadcasting live, it's the only national radio talk show on computers to air every weeknight. Computer America, hosted by national columnist Crossman. The first hour's behind us, but there's still more of tech news, tech talk, and your phone calls. We're being beamed nationwide at ComputerAmerica.com. You got computer problems? Bring them on. You're listening to Computer America. Computers run the world, and we run computers. Call us or send us an email to live@computeramerica.com.
Hello and welcome into hour 2 of the nation's longest-running, nationally syndicated radio talk show on computers. This is the Computer America Show, and I'm your host,
the great and powerful Craig Crossman.
Now that's horrible. See, now that the webcam fireball has been removed, we can now pay attention to the man behind the curtain. I love. It's amazing actually because I love the fact that I didn't know that during the second hour, intro when we hear the woohoo, that it's actually you. I saw it. I watched you go woohoo. I saw it.
I was lip syncing.
That's what everybody says. Busted.
Okay. All right. Well, I can do it without moving my lips. Woohoo! See?
Wow, impressive. Impressive. Now can you do the intro without moving your lips? Let's see.
No, I have to move them. Oh, okay. Well, listen, of course, we have our live interactive chat room. That's all going. And people are going in there. And
hijacked.
Yeah, hijacked.
We got hijacked.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Jack is in there. He doesn't know the video. Oh, and Fort's in there too.
Hey, Fort.
And they don't realize that the video camera's up and running. They need to look at us.
I know. Shh, don't tell them.
Shh. Your secret.
So for those of you who are just joining us here on the Computer America Show, I am your host, Charles Tendell, and my guest this evening is this unknown man that I picked up yesterday at the mall.
The mall, yeah. Hey, mister, can you spare a dime?
Maybe. Actually, what I'm noticing is you have what appears to be a plastic cheeseburger in the bag behind you over your right shoulder.
Yes, that's a phone.
It's a phone?
It's a phone, yes.
I keep looking at it, and I'm like I've had these weird animated moments where it gets up. What was the cartoon movie where it was the cheeseburger that came to life? It was,
yes, that's right. Yeah, no, that's my small-in-one Epson wireless printer, color printer, and attached to it is a phone, and it's a cheeseburger. My wife gave it to me as a gift. It's a cheeseburger phone.
It's a cheeseburger phone. Does it
actually opens up? Yep. Mm-hmm, and you can do
Does it taste good?
No, I don't lick it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Cheeseburger.
Yeah, she gave me as a gift. It was and there it sits now. The cheeseburger.
Well, eventually, we're gonna have to get Cynthia to cameo too.
She'll never do it.
She'll never cameo?
It'll take even longer than I did.
It will happen. One day she will forget that the camera is alive. And she will be like, "Oh my God, no!"
Jack just screamed. And he said, "Ah!" Oh, I said, "Oh, it's Craig. Never mind." That was Jack. There he is.
Is it a gold iBurger 5S?
Now they wanted me to do a cameo of my gold iPhone 5S. So
yeah, you can't really tell that it's gold though. It looks really silver.
If I angle the light right,
still silver, pretty silver.
It's gold.
Pretty silver. I'm impressed though. I'm looking at this image here. Like back it up, hold it back toward your face. Because like rotate it around. Okay, you are one of those people Like, do you polish this thing all the time? You sit in your chair, you're like,
polish my iPhone?
Yes! Because, like, mine, like, here, where's mine?
It's all grungy and dingy.
Mine's in a case, right? Mine has been in the case since, like, the day I got it.
Well, so it must be good shape then.
Well, no, like, the back has got it, well, no, it's got dirt on it.
Dirt?
The back of mine is not nearly as clean as yours.
I see it. Okay, I see it. We got Tony in there, Cherry Hill Tony.
Cherry Hill Tony?
Yeah, he just joined us.
Where have you been? On Cherry Hill.
I'm sure.
Do you remember that joke?
On Cherry Hill.
You don't know. Okay, so the joke goes like this, okay?
All right.
So the bell rings, and there are 4 children that are late for class. The first one walks in, and it's little Tommy. And the teacher says, "Little Tommy, where have you been?" "On Cherry Hill." "Fine. Go take your seat, little Tommy." Then next comes in little Bobby. The teacher goes, "Where have you been?" And little Bobby says, "On Cherry Hill." The teacher says, "What is this?" "Okay, you take your seat as well." Third child comes in, and it's little Peter. And she goes, "Peter, where have you been?" "On Cherry Hill, where everybody else has been." And she goes, "You know what, Peter? I'm going to call your father later. Go take your seat." Fourth child walks in, and it's this little girl. And she looks rather disheveled, and the teacher goes, "Let me guess, you were on Cherry Hill too." And she looks up at the teacher and goes, "Ma'am, I am Cherry Hill."
No. Oh, no, does that even deserve a rim shot?
Yep. I can't get to the button fast enough, so you're gonna have to. It's an old joke, man.
It is an old joke. I never heard that one though, but so there it is. Anyhow, we're gonna do
Cherry Hill Tony. Oh my God, it's Craig in the flesh.
Yes, it is.
Godzilla.
Yeah.
You know, actually, that's what everybody was thinking. You know that, right? Yeah. I should have totally opened this bet to the Computer America world, but you know, everybody was like, Craig really doesn't exist. He's a robot, or he's just a head in a jar. That's what he is.
That could be.
He's like the Loch Ness monster.
Jonathan kept thinking I was bald, though. You remember he did all that stuff?
I still think you are. I think it's glued down. I think that's what it is.
Oh, yeah, that's it. That's the glue.
I think it's glued down, and I think it's wait. Let me see if I can zoom.
Zoom in. Zoom in.
It won't work. It's like extreme close up.
You can count the nose hairs.
Oh, no, well, I thought that was your mustache.
No, I don't have a mustache.
Yeah, well, it looked like it. You had this tiny little Hitler stash going, but I guess it's nose hairs.
I could do the mustache. I could do the effects. You know, let me see if I can do the Google.
Oh, it'll work. It'll work. Watch this.
Okay. No.
You gotta do it.
I got it. There's the mustache.
Google effects.
I got it. One more time. No, that's a birthday cake. There he is.
No, that's not going to do it. There we go. It's the Craig Crossman with the stash. Yeah, it's the Craig Crossman with the stash. There you go.
Yeah.
And for those of you who aren't participating in our live interactive, well, sort of interactive video brought to you by the folks over at Otherworld Computing, Craig Crossman has finally disabled, or I have successfully hacked away, his webcam firewall, and he is now enjoying the full effects of Google Ninja.
Exactly. And of course, all this is being brought to you by Otherworld Computing. And I was just talking to them today. And they were telling me that all the cool things that they have for especially after the WWDC extravaganza. They now, I don't know if you noticed, they have their own blog now called RocketYard.com. RocketYard.com. It's their new blog. Check it out. They have all kinds of cool stories and things going on there. All your Mac needs. This is the place you need to go. They're going to have all the stuff that you need. Charles goes there. I go there. Even under snorkel.
Craig, you're gonna have to forgive me. I've got some beaching to do back here.
I see.
Coming to you live from the Computer America Show beach. It looks like some fun stuff back there. There's some whales and.
It actually looks like the view that I had out of my condo in Palm Beach.
Yeah, Palm Beach.
Okay.
Pixelated.
There it is. All right, so I think we can just let's do some computer news because we got some great stories to talk about.
We should probably hurry up. It's kind of cold out here.
Yeah, it is. Okay, let's do it. Tonight's computer and technology news is brought to you by Slimware Utilities, the official optimization software of Computer America. You can visit them at slimwareutilities.com to clean, speed up, and optimize your Windows system for free.
What's the matter, Craig? It sucks when people drop the ball on you, huh? Free!
There it is. Everything at slimwareutilities.com, absolutely free. Check them all out. They will clean, speed up, and optimize your Windows system. We use them here at the Crossman household.
Hey, wait, Craig.
What?
There's a bet going on in the Computer America chat room, right?
Yeah.
Right. I know, because we're going to do the news here, brought to you by Slimware Utilities. But Jonathan says it really makes me wonder how long ago that photo on the Computer America banner was taken. Fort says 1984. I said 1783. Come on, people. When do you think Craig took that picture? What he's really going to say, what he's really going to tell you is yesterday.
Well, actually, this afternoon. Exactly.
You travel through time, don't you, Craig?
As I say, we download them all at the slimwareutilities.com. All of them are free. You're going to love them. And you'll thank us for putting you onto them. They really, really are. They're terrific programs. Let's go to the first story. Last week I was really jazzed about Apple announcing their iWatch.
They didn't do it.
Yeah. Well, they will. Well, no, they're going to announce it.
You're going to switch to Android Watch. You're going to be like, oh my goodness, I didn't know what I was missing.
Well, evidently Apple's iOS 8 delivers credit card scanning and better mobile privacy. Can you believe this?
Apple and privacy. Somehow that doesn't go good together.
Yeah. But users are still discovering more features even after they made the announcement of WW, including a new credit card scanning option in Safari. Now, the feature enables you to use the iPhone's camera to scan your credit card number when prompted by a website during e-commerce transactions. That'll put Square out of business. Remember Square is that little thing that you read the magnetic stripe? Now you won't need that anymore.
You mean it's a little square thing?
Yeah, the little square. Remember that little square thing? Yeah, exactly. Now, when presented with the credit card field in the iOS 8 version of Safari, you'll see a scan credit card prompt, a new part of the passwords and autofill option already available in iOS 7, which allows you to store credit card details for future online purchases. The new feature uses optical character recognition to translate the image of your credit card into distinct numbers on your iOS device. This is again according to 9to5Mac. Okay. Another less publicized feature of iOS 8 is that it generates random MAC, that's media access control addresses, when scanning for Wi-Fi networks, a dynamic that will make it slightly more difficult for marketing companies to track you via your MAC address. A programmer in Switzerland noticed the new feature and posted a tweet along with a screenshot of the update yesterday. As a matter of fact, that happened. Given the many changes in iOS 8, a few more surprises will likely crop up in the coming weeks, but if you aren't a developer or enrolled in Apple's public beta program, you'll have to wait until the fall to take advantage of all the goodies in the next iteration of iOS. That's cool. I like that.
I'm watching this video that Addison sent me, and it's been kind of an interesting thing. So you know about the Google Glass Explorer program, right?
Yes, of course. Yes, exactly.
Everybody knows about the Google Glass program. Everybody knows everything is out there. But most of the people who rock Google Glass aren't gun lovers. But a company out there has decided, and this one isn't on our news list, but a company out there has decided to build a device that allows Google Glass to be used as in conjunction with a smart gun. And it's pretty cool. Yes, smart guns. So I'm gonna substitute this one for the one I was gonna steal or was gonna do. Google Glass equipped smart guns can aim and shoot around corners.
Really?
It was bound to happen. Tracking Point Solutions, an Austin-based applied tech startup behind the first precision-guided firearm, or PGF, has now integrated its controversial firearm technology with another equally controversial device, Google Glass. The result? Now the average Joe can fire at targets from around corners or over hills without looking. That's the augmented marksman potential of the company's new Shot View system. Much like a jet fighter's heads-up display, or HUD, Tracking Point's wearable PGF app gives the users the visual aids needed to take their aiming and shooting chops. I said cops. I don't mean to shoot any cops. That was happening. Shooting chops to the previously impossible levels. When you look through the Shot View video stream, the gun's HUD, on the gun's HUD, you can gauge a range of variables, including shot angle, rifle cant, compass direction, battery life, zoom settings, while not ever having to look away or divert your attention elsewhere. No good? Firing position. No good firing position? No problem. When paired with wearable technology, PGFs can provide unprecedented benefits to shooters, such as the ability to shoot around corners, from behind walls, and from other positions that provide exceptional cover. According to a Tracking Point press release, without PGF technology, such positions would be extremely difficult, if not impossible, to fire from. The steadied rise of wearable technology is unlocking a dizzying number of potential killer apps. No pun intended. Indeed, if there was any lingering doubt that wearable tech is coming to the battlefield, the glassification of high-profile smart weapon should put any uncertainties to rest. If being able to track and drop moving targets with a single shot accuracy at 1,500 feet using a long-range robo rifle wasn't sobering enough already, to think basically anyone can now do so over a hill, perhaps overlooking a so-called network battlefield shot through with data-driven soldiers is sure to be even more so. Let that one sink in for a moment. If someone like myself, who had never fired a gun prior to filming our smart gun documentary, Long Shot, was able to take out a trophy-sized feral hog using PGF with shocking ease, it stands to reason that now, using Shot View Glass, I could repeat that kill, only from a position hetero? You can't read it.
We got a problem here for some reason.
What'd you do, Craig?
I don't know. Wait a minute. It's just,
Stop playing with the cords on your desk.
Yeah,
How many times am I going to tell you that before the show?
Let me say continue. Okay.
What happened?
I think we're okay. Yeah, we're back on. Okay.
As Tracking Point's Oren Scable told me in April, before Shot View was rolled out, being able to shoot around corners over hills is a little mind-blowing when you actually do it. Things keep on rolling. So we might not yet be living in a world where killing is as easy as okay, glass, shoot. But the specter of the near future, when a few boots on the ground soldiers left standing are kitted out with wearable likes of Shot View, is literally right around the corner.
It appears you're calling back into a live show. We are reconnecting you now.
Okay, for some reason I thought we were not connected, but we're back. Okay, sorry about that. We had a little technical difficulties, but we're back here on the show. So continue on, Charles.
Well, that was the end of my article. All I was saying is that the tracking point is integrating their Smart View technology for their rifle with Google Glass, which means if I'm looking up into my Google Glass reticle, I can actually see a target and fire my weapon and not have to worry about anything. And I'm thinking if we can get this technology integrated and into the hands of soldiers on the modern battlefield, it will greatly improve our ability. And I am wholeheartedly looking forward to this. I mean, just imagine Google Glass in the hands of a trained professional who's just lurking around the battlefield, and all of a sudden we get caught. Let's go up and get it all set up and hooked up and get our shot on. I mean, it is amazing, and I am so mildly pissed off that this is coming out now and not while I was in the military.
Yeah. Well, okay.
The kids who join now are going to have some amazing stuff to play.
I just sent you something on AIM, so
I know. I saw it.
Okay. All right. Well, this next story from Business Insider: hidden code in iOS 8 hints that split-screen multitasking is coming to your iPad. Apple has offered multitasking for iPhone and iPad apps since iOS 4, but many iPad users have been itching to be able to run multiple iPad apps in a split screen. Now, the feature was rumored to be announced at Apple's Worldwide Developer Conference presentation last week, but it looks like it was one of the features that weren't quite ready yet. Okay. However, a hidden bit of code in the iOS beta hints that split-screen multitasking is on its way to iPads. The code mentions the ability to run two apps side by side, either splitting screen, real estate 50-50, or even 75-25. This could be used to allocate more screen space to apps, demanding more attention, such as Netflix or HBO Go, while also keeping iMessage or Facebook alongside of the screen. Samsung has included a similar feature in its Galaxy Tab Pro tablets, even highlighting the split-screen functionality as something an iPad can't do. In the past, Apple has always been wary to implement unbridled multitasking to its devices, and it will be interesting to see how split-screen multitasking could be affected. Tablets, even highlighting the split-screen functionality. Is that you doing that?
It was the Boost app. It is working.
It is working. Okay. Now,
for this weird guy that's talking, I'm not sure who he is.
For people wanting to Skype and browse the internet at the same time, it will be at least a few months. This new feature could be officially introduced when iOS 8 is released to the public this fall, or Apple could choose to include it in a later update. So there you go. You might have split-screen multitasking soon on your iPad. Not on your iPhone, but on your iPad.
I'm looking forward to that. I miss the multi-screen functionality for my Android tablet, so I'm really looking forward to that one.
Okay.
Well, I had a story, but it's buried underneath all of this stuff. But there it is. There it is. Let's see. Is this one I want to read? Sure. Amazon there we go. Amazon expands middleman role in the latest online payment push. From Reuters.com. Amazon.com Inc. will start managing subscription payments for startups and other companies. The latest in a series of quiet moves the e-commerce giant has made into PayPal's please kill them and burn them to the ground turf. Over the past year. The service, which launches on Monday, allows companies more than 240 million active users to use credit card details stored on Amazon.com to pay for services such as monthly phone bill or digital music subscription. Amazon will charge a fee for each transaction. eBay Inc.'s PayPal has long dominated, even terribly and horribly, and absolutely hate PayPal, but that's just my personal opinion, online payment services, but Amazon sees plenty of scope to push into new areas. The new service broadens Amazon's profitable role as a middleman for third-party sellers, which account for 40% of its sales and extends its influence beyond its website. It also comes ahead of the June 18th unveiling by Chief Executive Jeff Bezos, of what is widely expected to be a smartphone key to expanding Amazon's role in mobile payments. You should see it as one of many things that will do to expand where people might think about Amazon helping them, Amazon's vice president of seller services said in an interview. Amazon has been testing the new service over the last several months with startups including Ting, check them out, love Ting, a mobile phone company that is part of Two Cows Inc. Those who used recurring payments by Amazon spent 30% more on Ting's website. The project manager said in an interview arranged by Amazon. For those of you who don't know what Ting is, it's the pay for what you use phone service. You should definitely check them out. Yeah. The great phones. I think they're still in the CDMA network, so it's not really GSM yet. But you bring your own phone, you can do your own thing with it, and you only pay for the service that you use. Go over there and use their savings calculator and see how much you've actually been wasting.
Are those what they call burner phones?
No. It's a full, live, real phone service. You can use your iPhone 5S, Galaxy S4, Galaxy S5. I think the catch is it's got to be CDMA, but you can still get it on there. We'll probably see if I can get Carissa, the booking goddess, to get us, some interviews with Ting, or actually get them to promote the show, because they're really cool.
Well, if not, maybe she can get Tang. If we can't get
Tang.
Ting Tang.
They took it. You took it to the moon, right?
No, Ting Tang, Walla Walla Bang Bang. Okay, no.
Oh, sorry. But let's see. But Taylor said it's only the details. Wait. Sorry, missed it. Skipped over an interview. Skipped over one. Some analysts have said Amazon has been held back in payments because merchants are wary of handing over customer data to the company, which is a record of rapidly expanding into new eras and competing with sellers. But Taylor said the only details collected by Amazon as part of the new service is the dollar amount of each transaction and not any item-level information. He added that the service will encourage Amazon users who might otherwise be leery of handing over their credit card details to a fleeting companies or fledgling companies to try them out. If you think about giving a merchant that you may not know very well the right to continue to charge your credit card in the future, you really want to know that a good relationship with Amazon stands behind that. We hope whoever the next Spotify out there is thinking about Amazon, he added, referring to the privately held popular digital music subscription service.
All right. Good. I have no further comment on that story. Okay.
Why not?
I don't know. Microsoft, did you know, is betting on Kinect-like gestures for the future of Windows Phone? Do you think the Windows Phone's future is in jeopardy?
Yes, but not because of that.
Well, Microsoft is trying to cram Kinect-like features into its future flagship Windows Phone handsets. At least one device, codenamed McLaren, will debut on a range of U.S. carriers later this year with features that let you hover your finger over the screen to interact with games and applications without ever touching the display. Sources familiar with Microsoft's plans tell The Verge that the technology known internally as 3D Touch or Real Motion has been developed by Nokia over a number of years. EV Leaks first unveiled the existence of Nokia McLaren, and we understand the device will largely be seen as a Lumia 1020 successor with a similar hump in the rear casing for a powerful camera. The unique aspect of McLaren will be the number of sensors on the device to make way for the 3D Touch system. While Microsoft is reaching out to top developers to support the new system with apps and games, 3D Touch will be unique to its own devices and will not be available initially on handsets from Samsung, HTC, among others. Features like answering calls by holding the phone to your ear will be supported, along with the ability to set the phone down on a table to enable speakerphone, or to hang up a call by placing it in your pocket. Phones that you can do that with some other phones, can't you? Phones that support 3D Touch will use a number of hardware sensors to allow devices to mute when they are covered by a hand or held to a chest, or to dismiss alerts by waving a hand in front of the screen. Microsoft is also planning to detect how a phone is held by grip, allowing a 3D Touch-enabled phone to block an orientation switch when you're lying down in bed, let's say. The sides of the phone will also be used to interact with the operating system, and a camera feature will let you zoom simply by dragging your fingers along the side of the device. Central to Microsoft's thinking are ways to simplify devices and remove buttons like the power button, so phone owners can simply grip their devices to power it on. Okay, that's kind of cool, actually. Well, Microsoft had originally planned to debut its 3D Touch Windows features with its Windows Phone 8.1 and a Nokia Goldfinger handset. We understand that the work has been pushed to an additional update plan later this year. Goldfinger still exists, but it's simply being used as an engineering device to prepare developers for the upcoming changes and the McLaren launch. Okay. Another key part to the 3D Touch experience is several UX changes to Windows Phone. A new mix view, originally detailed by WP Central, allows 3D Touch users to hover over a live tile and tap down in the air without touching the display to reveal a number of smaller tiles that are relevant to that particular app. On a Facebook tile, you may see a messaging tile and phone tile appear that will allow Windows Phone users to quickly call pinned contacts. The tiles displayed on screen look like they have simply exploded from the original tile, and the concept comes from the Zune Mix View feature that placed a music artist at the center of the screen surrounded by related content. As Amazon is reportedly preparing similar 3D features for its upcoming smartphones, the real question for Microsoft will be whether its own system is unique enough to act as a differentiator in the high-end smartphone market. Amazon has its own air gestures to change music tracks, accept phone calls, and scroll through web pages, but they're often gimmicky and underused. If Microsoft's 3D touch system is easy to use, then it could be as natural as the screen doubling tapping power on a handset that currently exists on most Nokia Windows phones today. If not, then it's a big gamble on bringing Kinect-like interactions to the device that lives in your pocket. Well, there you go. We're at the bottom of our break. We've got yet another brand new news tip bulletin from Marty Winston. This is the Computer America Show. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 120,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy and major car companies filing for bankruptcy, Cover America Auto Care has announced revolutionary, inexpensive mechanical breakdown coverage that is now available to the general public to save consumers thousands on auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for drivers to call who own a vehicle that is less than 10 years old for a free 5-minute quote and to see if you qualify. The number is 800-483-2514. Drivers who are covered with this auto protection will not have to pay for a covered repair again. This is the auto coverage now sweeping across America at a fraction of what dealerships charge and is now available to the public by calling today. The number to call is 800-483-2514. 800-483-2514. That's 800-483-2514.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-866-663-MyTV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. So, disable the cable and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-866-663-MyTV right now to sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99 and up to 4 rooms. And there's no equipment to buy. That includes your free HD TV upgrade, your free DVR upgrade, and your free professional installation. And the best part, the pristine digital picture and sound. Call 1-866-663-MyTV. So, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-866-663-MyTV. 1-866-663-MyTV. Disable the cable, cut costs, and get more. Call 1-866-663-MyTV. 1-866-663-MyTV.
Hi, this is Marty Winston for Computer America with a news tips bulletin review of something that just came in a package from Stockholm. It was the DeGauss Labs Pocket Couture in-ear 3-button Android headset. The earpods wear little rubbery hats. So overall, they are sitting more completely inside the ear canal than most earbuds. They are sensitive. A handset can drive them to really too high sound levels. When they're overdriven, they distort a little, and a wise or wary user can take that as a sign of hearing under threat. The sound reproduction is good, but less than audiophile. The best headphones step out of the way of listening, but these always seem to make their presence known. It's compromise for perfectionists, but not a big deal for most people. The mic side is more of a compromise. When we called our landline voicemail, the audio quality was a bit muffled. Not unintelligible, but not remarkably clear. Bottom line, most Android mobile gear users will find the DeGauss Labs Pocket Couture in-ear 3-button Android headset a satisfactory choice. This is Marty Winston at the News Tips Bulletin for Computer America.
And welcome back to the Computer America Show. Charles Tendell has vanished into a puff of smoke, and I don't know where he is. So we will continue on. Hopefully he'll be back shortly. In the meantime, it is 33 minutes after the hour here on the Computer America Show, and we are doing computer technology news brought to you by Slimware Utilities. Let me just direct you quickly to our website at computeramerica.com. We have a limited special offer going on right now, and if you see it right there on our home page, it says click here for limited special offer. And when you do so, that'll go to our good friends over at ProXPN. They have 20% off. Now, ProXPN basically is an open VPN solution. It's actually hosted not only here in the U.S. but globally, like places like Amsterdam and London and Singapore. So when you're online, you actually appear as though you're located in those cities. They don't know where you are or who you are. That's the whole idea. Basically, your anonymity is protected when you use ProXPN, so people can't track you. Your ISP can't throttle you down because you're using too much of the internet that you're paying for, by the way. ProXPN is 100% secure. I use it, and the Computer America staff uses it. Their encryption key is very strong, very impressive, 2,048 bits, and the tunnel is 512 bits. Basically, it protects you online, it protects your privacy, and this is the way the internet was intended to be. Okay. Now, I use it on my Mac, also on my gold iPhone 5S. Charles has it on his Android phone. Basically, it even adds, if you have an Android phone, it adds OpenVPN to Android, which it doesn't have, so you don't have to use PPTP, but you can, because ProXPN supports that as well. Look, we want you to use ProXPN. If you have a desktop system, it has Mac and Windows versions. You get advanced controls like to select ports. You can connect at startup. And here's something really cool. You can select which programs should be shut down in case your VPN connection goes down and your anonymity has been compromised. That's a very cool feature. So here's what you do. You can download ProXPN for free and use it, but the premium version is so much faster and better. It's normally just $10 a month or $75 a year, but if you enter in the code COMPAM, short for Computer America, COMPAM, you'll get an additional 20% off any membership you choose. And once you do that, it's good forever, not just the one time. So that's at less than $5 a month when you go for the yearly plan. Look, this is something you need in today's world. You really do need it. If you ever go online and you listen to the show, you know you can use this and need this. It's the best VPN I've tried. And again, it's proxpn.com. Just go to our website at computeramerica.com, click on the special deal, and then click anywhere on the page that talks about ProXPN. It'll take you right to the special page they have set up for us. Use the code, again, promo code COMPAM. You'll see all the prices drop down, 20% off any membership you choose, and that's totally forever. So you're going to really need this. And you'll thank us for putting you onto it. ProXPN.
Oh my God! I'm stuck in a box. Look, I can't help it. I'm in your box.
Charles is in the box. Hey, we're doing computer and technology news, brought to you by Slimware Utilities, and it's your turn to do a story, Charles.
Let's see.
Okay.
Do you remember when a couple of weeks ago we did the story on Secret?
Yes, I do remember that. Yes.
Yeah, I think this is related to that one, but I've downloaded it and had it on my iPhone, my silver iPhone 5S, and was not too impressed with it. It was just, I don't know. I didn't get anything out of it. But from Engadget.com, Secret's new den will keep your confessions within company walls.
Oh.
When you spill your guts on Secret, that post is sent anonymously to a network based on the people on your phone's contact lists. And if it gets enough hearts, it might even go viral and spread out to the rest of the world. But say you want to post an inside joke that only your coworkers might understand, or maybe a secret lunch tip that you'd only want people in your college to know about. Well, you just might be able to do so thanks to a new feature that the folks over at Secret are testing called dens. A den can be an organization like a company or a school, and anything that you post to that den will be strictly confined to those walls. No outside sharing allowed. But doesn't it kind of defeat the purpose? If it's you and like 3 other people in this den from work, they kind of know it's got to be one of the 3 of you. Just saying. Just saying. If your organization has signed up for the Den feature, you can add yourself to the secret Den with your work or university email address. From there, you can post to the Den by adding your @domain to the post. Posts shared to that Den will have the Den's name on the bottom left-hand corner. And interestingly, anyone from that domain can remove anyone else, which might be trouble if anyone gets into a pretty petty spat at work. You'll need to be on Secret's invite-only list to sign up, and the feature is still in its pilot stage, so maybe it'll change once it's ready for release. Head over to the source and find out more about the Den feature and if it's something you want at your place of work.
Would you want something like that at your place of work?
I've already invited you. Just saying.
Okay. All right. I can accept that, I guess. We were talking about Vine, and you did some of those Vine videos that were really...
Somehow I knew you were going to take that story.
6 point some seconds, and Charles, went wild with it. Well, evidently astronauts like Vine too, because they post their first Vine from space, and according to CNET, they're saying it's lovely. All right. Astronaut Reed Wiseman is currently zipping around miles above the surface of our blue marble inside the International Space Station. He's doing some important scientific astronaut stuff, but he's also taking the time to feed the public a series of stunning images from space via his very active Twitter account. He took a break from photographs for a moment to post the first Vine from space, a time-lapse video taken from the International Space Station that shows the sun zooming around in a circle, never setting. Wiseman's accompanying missive reads, "First Vine from space. Single Earth orbit. Sun never sets, flying parallel with Terminator line." Oh, he gets his whole code, right? Okay, exactly. The video is mesmerizing, according to CNET, and the explanation behind it fascinating. The ISS is really cooking along up there. It makes an orbit of the Earth roughly every 90 minutes. That means astronauts can log 16 sunrises and 16 sunsets every single Earth day. The view can be dramatic, however, when the ISS flies parallel to the Terminator line, the moving line that separates the dark and the day sides of the Earth. Okay. It's also, by the way, sometimes called the Twilight Zone. In this case, don't get me started. The sun doesn't set from the view of the ISS. Wiseman is scheduled to be up on the ISS into this fall, so we may be able to look forward to more Vines from space before he comes back down to Earth. Okay. In the meantime, his Twitter feed is a bonanza of gorgeous and interesting photos taken from far above, ranging from Chicago in the dark of the night to swirling storms over Argentina. And I'm actually looking at one of the Vine videos that he did.
It's kind of making me dizzy.
Yeah, it is, but it's still kind of cool.
Yeah,
it is. I think it's very neat. The first Vine video from space, and there it is. You heard it on Computer America.
The Vine.
The Vine.
Oh, and Dee actually just sent me a message that came straight to my Google Glass. She says, "What's interesting about that is there is internet in space."
Yes, there is.
That's right. You can get to Google from the International Space Station.
Mm-hmm.
I hear they've got a really long cable that runs directly to the Google
It is. It's a very long cable, but it's retractable. So
yeah. They were going to use it to do the space elevator.
Yeah, and but it's made of this special material, and it's immune to all the radiations and bombardments. So you can get, but you still have to have that wired connection. Yeah, but that's it. You didn't know about that, did you?
The space elevator? No. Well, I'm gonna ride that one day. It'll happen.
No, I'm talking about the long cable they use for internet connection.
Yeah, no, I helped run that cable.
You did? Oh, okay.
Yeah, they had me space jump from the space station down to Google.
Did you hurt yourself?
Well, the first few times I got kind of crispy, but after a while you get used to it.
Mm-hmm.
So, Craig, now that you've had your Google Hangouts video debut, what's next for you?
I have to bask in the glory for a while.
I know. How about a job at Apple?
Which is my best side? This side or this side?
Here, let me show you how I do it this way. You see this side right here?
Yes.
This is my good side, right?
Uh-huh.
And this is my great side. See?
No, I can do you one better. Here.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, you want to show it? All right. This.
Where's the blue screen of death for Craig?
Okay. This is my good side, and
That's
this
the front.
and no, hold on, and this is my better side.
The old Computer America lower third is your better side. Wow, that's impressive, Craig. Well, since you are now comfortable on Google, how about running over to Apple?
Who said I was comfortable?
Yeah, I think you're comfortable. I mean, you're only mildly red.
Mildly?
You know, I'm waiting for you to break out the lounge songs because I know you're gonna do it.
Uh-huh.
I know you're gonna be like, it's not unusual to be loved by anyone. That's who you look like.
Tom Jones.
Tom Jones. Ladies and gentlemen, Tom Jones. He's retired, but he ran off and changed his name to Craig Crossman, and he is now hosting the nation's longest-running, nationally syndicated radio talk show on computers. Ladies and gentlemen, Tom Jones.
Crickets, exactly.
That's horrible. But, Tom, if you're interested in going over from Google Hangouts to Apple, apparently, according to The Verge, Apple is reportedly looking for a friendlier head of public relations. Oh. Apple's been without a public relations chief since the end of May and is still looking for a replacement. Now the company is said to be looking for a friendlier, more approachable person. Craig Crossman. Person to fill the spot. Citing sources, Recode says Apple has been reviewing 2 internal candidates for the existing PR staff, but that CEO Tim Cook is also personally looking at outsiders that fit that friendlier description. The report comes as Apple put on a markedly more ebullient, I don't know, an open display at its developer conference, which took place last week. The company opened up iOS more than it ever has before, as well as offered Windows users and even Google a small olive branch in compatibility and integration. Apple's previous PR chief, Kate Cotton, interesting name.
Katie Cotton, yeah, I've known her for. She's the PR head person that I've known her for.
Announced retirement plans at the beginning of May after being at the company for 18 years, a period that saw Apple go from the brink of bankruptcy to record-breaking profits. That role has also been a crucial part to the company's mystery and secrecy, with highly limited access to executives and product unveilings.
Yeah.
So you're going to apply for the job?
I remember those days, though.
You should apply for the job.
No, I got a job.
I think you should apply for the job. I trust me. I'll hold it down for you while you're gone. You can check in from time to time.
Yeah. Hey, what is this with Netflix? Okay, Giga Ohm's got this interesting story. Giga Ohm. Yeah. Netflix to suspend its controversial ISP error messages. Remember that?
That means somebody was complaining so much they were going to ban them yet again. Net neutrality at its finest, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, Netflix will stop blaming your ISP when your orange is in the new black stream starts to stutter, at least for now.
Have you started watching that yet?
No, but I really do want to see it. Netflix announced today that it will suspend the display of messages that specifically blame individual internet providers for congestion within its apps by next week. In a blog post, Netflix said, "We started a small-scale test in early May that let consumers know while they're watching Netflix that their experience is degraded due to a lack of capacity into their broadband provider's network. We are testing this across the U.S. wherever there is a significant and persistent network congestion. This test is scheduled to end on the 16th of June. We will evaluate rolling it out more broadly." Now, reports about these types of error messages, which first surfaced on Twitter earlier this month, when users reported they were told by their Netflix app that Verizon's network was crowded, quote unquote. Verizon called the message a PR stunt and went on to send Netflix a cease and desist notice demanding to put a stop to the messages. At the core, the truth hurts. At the core of the spat is a long-running dispute about peering, with Verizon and other ISPs demanding that Netflix pay them to provide adequate peering capacity. Netflix has begrudgingly signed commercial peering deals with Verizon and Comcast, but at the same time continues to insist that it shouldn't have to.
Netflix should have gracefully told them to go F off.
Yeah.
My opinion.
Yes, fly off. In today's blog post, they wrote some large U.S. ISPs are erecting toll booths, providing sufficient capacity for services requested by their subscribers to flow through only when those services pay the toll. It's like a HOV, high occupancy vehicle lane.
Most of those are free.
Yeah, some of them are not. In this way, ISPs are double dipping by getting both their subscribers and internet content providers to pay for access to each other. We believe these ISP tolls are wrong because they raise costs, stifle innovation, and harm consumers. ISPs should provide sufficient capacity into their network to provide consumers the broadband experience for which they pay. I think they're right.
Is that the end of that article?
That's the end of it.
Now, how do you feel about this? Now, wait a minute. Before you do that, you're going to have to pay me $100 to get this signal out.
No.
On top of the $100 that you currently pay for your internet, how do you feel about people like Verizon and everyone else? Essentially, Netflix put it out great, putting up a toll booth that only allows the traffic through that pays to do it.
HOV, high occupancy vehicle.
I think this is just a tip of the iceberg in people being able to censor the internet, people being able to stomp messages out like it's going out of style, people being able to control the flow of information. I mean, this was the internet, and I know it's funny because I know it's going to sound really cliche coming from the hacker, but the internet was designed to be free. Well, take that back. The internet was originally designed to give open real-time communication between military installations, and then spilled out to the world, and now this global network infrastructure has become the internet that we know today.
Well, it was ARPANET. It was ARPANET.
Correct. It was originally between colleges. The government saw it was a good idea. They built it bigger. They still have their underground intranet that connects all of them together, that makes their own internal internet. But now after years, after decades, right? Decade is 10. After decades of people using the internet how they see fit to get from point A to point B, these providers want to be dicks about it and now charge you to get access to stuff that you're already paying for. I'm already paying a Netflix subscription. I'm already paying an internet subscription. Why do I need to pay more? Why does someone else need to pay more to connect the two of us together? Again, it's like, we could do a poll in the Computer America chat room.
Yeah, we could.
Every Computer America chat room listener out there, would you be willing to pay 10 cents? 10 cents, just 10 cents to listen, watch, or download this show? We'd love to hear your comments. I'm sure there's a comment section somewhere, either on Blog Talk Radio, on the video down below here that's going to be out on YouTube. Leave your comments down there. We'd love to see that stuff. Tell us whether or not you would be willing to pay 10 cents to watch this show on top of the money you pay for your internet access and the money you pay everywhere else.
We already know the answer.
The answer is a resounding hell no.
Of course, we don't have to poll that. We already know what they're going to say.
So then my question is this: how do we stop this? Craig, as a media icon, okay, as the Craig Crossman.
Yes.
Who can you call to bring on this show? Can we get the CEO of Comcast on the show?
Ghostbusters. I don't know.
You can't call. I mean, who's your provider? You're on Cox or something, right?
No, Charter. You keep messing that up.
I don't know who it is. Can we call the CEO of Comcast and say, hey, come on the Computer America show?
He won't.
Why not?
Because he got something to hide.
Something to hide? Well, you can play good cop, and I can play black cop, and we'll see how well that goes.
It wouldn't. I'll tell you right now, they're not going to come on because they know that they're wrong, but they're not going.
Well, they know they're wrong, but I would love to hear their side of the story. That's the one thing that I haven't heard yet. I would love to hear Comcast's side of the story.
Their side of the story is that, hey, we can make more money. and that's the side of the story. That's pretty much.
I know that's the outside version, but what are they going to say? Why? What is their justification behind saying?
They know it's going to be BS. Whatever story they're going to come up with, they're going to know it's a story, and they're going to try to put a spin on it. Which we're not going to let them do that. And so they already know that they're going to be set up. They wouldn't come on the show for that.
It would be a high-speed, highly controversial Computer America show.
No,
but the first one in history.
It's not going to happen. I don't care if we were CNN. They're not going to do it. I'm sure they've been invited to be on all these shows. They're not going to go on because they know they're going to get set up.
I'm telling you, you pick up the Craig Crossman hamburger phone back there.
They're greedy, and that's the answer.
And watch, and now Craig Crossman's internet goes off. Like, oh.
No, I'm here.
Oh, what just happened here? We lost Craig. I'm here. Oh. All I'm saying is we've all been bashing on them. We've all been saying this is what our opinions of it are. But I would genuinely love to hear the CEO of Comcast or Time Warner or Cox or any of them.
There's no genuine story. They're going to know they're full of BS.
There is no genuine story. You're right. There is absolutely no genuine story. But what is the load of crap they want to try and feed the American people, the people of the planet in general, the internet population? What is it? Like, what makes you think this is a good idea? Like, I mean, and I get it. It's a monopoly. No one's going to stop using your services. No one's going to be like, oh, well, that sucks. Let me go over here to Bob's. Oh, that's right. There is no one else because you own the lines, and those lines won't allow me to connect to anyone else anywhere ever. So you're kind of screwed.
We have time for. I want to do this one more. Have you been to Google today? There was this cute little thing, where they always Google. They have.
Yeah, I didn't know what that is. It's this weird. It looks like some kind of weird fairy tale thing.
Well, it's a Google Doodle, and it's an 11-year-old's imagined water purifier. It was a contest, right?
Imagined water purifier.
Yeah, a highly imagined animation of a fanciful water purification system was drawn by an 11-year-old student for a contest run by Google. The animation features a winged, steampunk-like machine taking in dirty water and pouring out clean water. Another machine picking up litter, a spider sweeping up debris, a smiling whale, a happy human family. Google said it quickly lost count of all the delightful elements of Audrey's doodle. Okay, the doodle was by Audrey Zhang, an 11-year-old from New York, bested more than 100,000 other submissions to come out on top. For its 7th annual Doodle for Google competition, the Mountain View, California-based company invited American K-12 students to draw an invention that would make the world a better place. And to make it a better place, I invented a transformative water purifier. Zhang wrote about her entry. Okay, it takes in dirty and polluted water from rivers, lakes, and even oceans, then massively transforms the water into clean, safe, and sanitary water. When humans and animals drink the water, they will live a healthier life. Although the real water purification systems don't quite look like hers, there are ways to turn dirty water clean, including reverse osmosis filters, desalinization, which, by the way, might actually come into fruition in the next year or two, a couple of years. We have the technology to make that happen. If we can perfect it, then we can just take the water from the ocean and drink it. That would be the best possible way to do it. Anyway, after Google selected her drawing, the company invited her to the HQ to direct its animators for a day to bring the drawing to life. So that was it. So she won a $30,000 college scholarship and a $50,000 Google for Education Technology grant for her school. The company's charity arm also donated $20,000 in her name to charity Water to provide clean water to schools in Bangladesh. Google also named 250 state finalists, 50 state winners, and 5 national age group winners as well. So that's what that Google Doodle is all about, in case you didn't know.
You know what? I know this is an interesting catch here, but the little girl's name is what?
Zhang.
Zhang. What was her name? Let me see. What is it? Audrey Zhang. So she's most likely of Asian descent, right? Looking at the picture in the video here, she's of Asian descent. My wife and I had this conversation the other day. Do you realize that the U.S. charges more for education than any other country on the planet? and it ranks like number 10 in math, science, and literacy around the world. Why is that, do you think?
I don't know.
We charge more and produce less. And in other countries, it's common for you to have to test to get into college. Tests that really mean something, not the SATs. Like, you actually have to score to a particular level to be accepted into a college. And then you have to come up with around $10,000, I think it was on average, to go to a higher education school. In Japan...
20 seconds.
Thank you for that. In Japan, did you know they actually, the higher education, they're taught the critical thinking skills that we as Americans are taught in higher education from grade school.
Yeah, no, I understand. Our education system is woefully behind.
So when I run for president, are you going to vote for me because of my education platform?
Absolutely.
All right, just making sure. I got Craig's vote. That means I win. Everyone by default.
Everybody wins.
Yeah.
Hey, tomorrow night we're going to have Grayson Hamilton on the show.
60 seconds.
Yeah, the big story, of course, is the E3 Electronic Entertainment Exposition. He's going to be covering that, and we got some great stories coming from E3. Grayson will be with both hours talking about the E3 convention and what we can expect to see now in the upcoming months ahead. If you're into gaming, you don't want to miss tomorrow's show.
Gamer Tuesday.
Gamer Tuesday. Fun program. Exactly.
Now if I can just convince Grayson to use his camera.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, that about wraps it up. And thank you so much for being with us here tonight. And thanks to ArtistWorks.com and TC Helicon for being with us. So until tomorrow night, this is Craig Crossman hoping that your hard disk never becomes
floppy. Look at the smile on Craig's face.
We'll see you tomorrow night. Say good night, Charles.
Good night, Charles.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
All right, so we're out.
You look so happy when you say the exit. I was like, oh, look, Craig looks so happy. I don't know if it's because he's like, okay, first show with the camera. Okay, I can relax. Woo-saw.
I'm just saying E3. Okay, gamer. Okay. I'm just saying goodnight to everybody in the chat room. And we'll do that. And then we'll just go that. Good night there. And then we'll exit out of that. Okay, so we're going to finish our hangout. Thanks so much for being with us tonight. And we will see you hopefully all tomorrow. Okay? All right.